Baozi Training lead code solution. If you want the best mock interview experience in North America, feel free to check us out at baozitraining.org. We're here to help you land your next big offer. As we all know right now, is a lot of places, especially in Bay Area, it's shelter in place and people are forced to work from home. That is fine. If you want to, if you can understand Chinese, feel free to tune in to the new video that a bunch of us were talking about how we feel working from home. Actually, surprisingly, lots of people are actually feeling more pressure because of the more work or the commute time that we saved actually put back to work. And also, this is to be honest, is a very tough time for software engineers because there's many companies starts laying off. As actually one signal for me is when I was looking at Baozi Training's lead code video stats, the views recently for the last 28 days actually increased quite significantly. So I first of all, I want to thank you guys for watching, but I don't want to sound like I'm happy or anything. But if this is the time, you know you're gonna get impacted, this is the time you actually brush up your skills so that you can look for better opportunities. As a matter of fact, we should always just stay sharp so that when our opportunity knocks, we can go and grab them. I believe at this moment, you should already know this layoffs.fii. So this is the equivalent of levels.fii. So this just a bunch of companies right now laid off. How many people get laid off? If you look at Airbnb, it's like 1,900. That's actually a lot. And there's actually names. And companies still hiring, so feel free to check this out if you want to apply. Especially, this is a tough time for new grads. So if you're citizen or green card holders, that you probably just have to wait. But for international students, it's actually especially a tough time. Cool. All right. Today we're going to talk about a problem. It's not leak code, but the reason I started this competitive programming, normally people call it CP, is it's just personally for me, this is kind of like it's like a meditation, to be honest, because in real world or in real life, in real work, things are undefined. So that's why in interviews, there's always about, clarify this problem, just like in real world, right? But the coding competition makes me mind settles down because everything is so clearly defined. All you need to do is outsmart the problem, or outsmart your opponents. It's more like a gaming, like if you play, while I was at school, at least at that time, Warcraft 3 is very popular. So you play those kind of games, you compete with each other. So this gives you that kind of heartbeat, heart pump, that's just like gaming. Anyways, those problems are, similar to interview questions or sometimes harder, but it's always good for you. So today we're going to talk about this. And one way to motivate you, Google has, I think right now they consolidated three. So Google Code Jam, and then there's a Google Kickstart. There's also a thing called Hash Code. Those are the coding competitions, kind of like ACM, ICPC. It's very similar to interview questions. The only difference is, oops, I apologize for my rice cooker. The only difference is they don't give you exactly the function input. So you have to define your own function, but you have to write your main function. So, all right, so let's look at these problems. I won't read the details to details, but essentially the problem is, there are three test cases. One test case is the size is 4. The other is also a 4x4 matrix, 3x3 matrix. And then they want you to output exactly things like this, case 1 and the results. So the problem is let you find the main diagonals, which is to the left, to the bottom, left top to the bottom right. To find the sum of the main diagonal, this is very easy to do. Just look through the matrix and also check if there's how many duplicate elements per row, you output a number, and how many duplicate elements per column, and then you output a number. So this is essentially a very simple simulation problem. All we need to do is, so we have to do some input. You can look at it later. So this is a very non-efficient way to do it. Like I know my friends who does competitive programming definitely optimize this as a template, and then you just call a solve, and that solve will run your function. I'm just playing around. And also in competitive programming, you never need to do this kind of check because, like I said, everything's so well defined, which means you don't need to do this. While in real world, you definitely have to have sanity check like this. So, but we are focusing more on the algorithm part. And also in competitive programming, nobody named their variables like a row and column. They just are I, J, K, right? Which, You know, this is something like if you are a new grad, you do competitive programming and you do real world interviews, I'm like totally cool. But after like 2 years in industry, if you still name your variable like that in real interviews, that's a no-no. Yeah, for the column one, so I need a list just to check, and then for the row set is basically for each row I just need another check, and so you do a double loop, nested loop. You check the diagonal sum. I define my class to be a result so that I can return all the threes in one row, and then in the result I just display. So for each row, you can, in every iteration, you can just check, and then I'll just keep adding the element into each of the. I think I probably this column list. Yeah, this is a list of sets. So each one is a set, and then I just compare the size with the row. So then I will know how many are duplicated for the column. So it's a very simple problem. And the row, this is normally the first problem, is just get your blood pumping. So if you feel like intimidated by competitive programming, try this problem. It's very easy. In real interviews, you should solve it in 10 minutes or less. Time complexity O(n) square, and then space complexity O(n) because we use extra space. All right, that's all. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Leave any comments if you have anything to say about competitive programming, or what do you feel about working from home, or all this kind of layoff things. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Stay safe.